Hello students, welcome to our first online lecture for physics. This is the lecture for 11th class, that is our first lecture. In this lecture, we will start the third chapter from your syllabus, that is motion in a plane. So at first, we will see what will be the content of today's lecture. In this lecture, at first, we will discuss about the motion and its types. Then we will introduce to rectilinear motion. Then we have to discuss the path length and displacement. Then after we will discuss about average speed and average velocity. Then we will introduce to instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocity. And in the last of lecture, we will discuss about the graphical study of motion. So let us discuss what is motion. Students, as we know, we see many objects moving all around us. And what we can say about the motion? Motion is the continuous change in the position or location of an object with respect to time and also with respect to surrounding. Is that there are the different types of motion. Types of motion as a curvilinear motion, rotational motion, vibratory motion, rectilinear motion. You have to study in your 12th class another types of motion, that is the circular motion, oscillation, rotational motion. Thus there are the different types of motion, and we see different objects moving all around us, like the earth revolving around the sun. We walk on the road, we run, and vehicles moving on the road, animals moving on the road, all that objects are in motion. We see the different objects in motion. So when we study the object, when the object is in motion, in mechanics, when we discuss about the position of the object, we have to consider the three coordinate axes, that is x, y and z, that are three coordinate axes mutually perpendicular to each other. The motion in which the object is moving along the same straight line, and in that case we can describe the position of that object with the help of only one coordinates from the three coordinates, then that is called as the one-dimensional motion. In the one-dimensional motion, the object is moving along a straight line. The train is moving along the track, when the bus is moving along the road, when the runner is running on the straight line path, that all the cases, that all are the examples of one-dimensional motion. That is, the motion of an object is called one-dimensional if only one of the three coordinates required to specify the position of the object in the space, and that changes with respect to time. Means here the only x-axis, positive and negative direction of x-axis are required to describe the position of the object. Then we consider the two-dimensional motion. In the two-dimensional motion, x and y, two coordinates axes are required for the motion of the object. When the ball is thrown here in the air, that gives us the position two-dimensional. We have to require two dimensions. Suppose an ant is walking on the table surface. To describe the position of that ant, we have to use the two coordinates, that is x and y coordinates, that are the two-dimensional motion. Then the three-dimensional motion, here we required here we required the three axes x, y and z. See here. So this is the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, all are mutually perpendicular to each other. When we consider a molecule, gas molecule moving at random in the space, or the aeroplane moving in the space, or the bird is flying in the sky, your kite, patang tumchi, when flying in the sky, to represent the position of that object, we have to consider all the three coordinates x, y and z. Then it is called as the three-dimensional motion. Such a motion takes place in space. Now we discuss about the rectilinear motion. What is rectilinear motion? Motion of an object along a straight line, that is called as rectilinear motion. In the rectilinear motion, the force acting on the object and velocity of the object both are along the one and same line. Is that means the direction of force and direction of velocity both are same here in the rectilinear motion, and the distance measured are measured along the x-axis, positive and negative x-axis, that is the one dimensional motion. This is the rectilinear motion. We can give many more examples about the rectilinear motion, that is the motion of all the vehicles when they are moving along a straight line path in the forward direction. We can call it as the rectilinear motion. Now let us introduce about the path length and displacement. So to describe the motion, there is one physical quantity path length and another physical quantity displacement we required to describe it. So we know about the path length and displacement very well. We discuss here what is the path length. See here in this diagram, suppose initially the object is at point A and finally the object reached to point B by this path. This is the actual path through which, along which the object is moving and reach to the point B. So to measure the path length or distance covered by the object, we can say we have to measure this total distance. आपल्याला total distance measure करावं लागेल, and that total distance gives us the path length from point when the object moves from point A to B. But when the object moving from point A to B, what is the displacement? The displacement is nothing but the shortest distance between the two positions of the object in a particular direction during that time. That is called as the displacement. What will be the shortest distance here? From the point A to point B, we draw one vector from point A to B, and that shortest distance gives us the displacement. Here the path length, that is the scalar quantity, and displacement is the vector quantity. When we measure the path length or distance, yes, we have to, the direction is not considered here, and for the displacement we have to consider the direction. So the displacement is the vector quantity and the path length is scalar quantity. The distance cannot be never zero. We will discuss again in the next slide. And the path displacement may be zero, it may be positive or negative. How it will be, we will discuss here again. See here in this diagram now. See in the first diagram, suppose your object is at origin at point S. Is that? And this is the scale that represents the distance in meters, suppose. Now, when the object moves from point S towards the right, covers the plus 5 unit or plus 5 meter distance. Is that? Now, it turns its direction towards the left and move and cover the distance minus 8 unit or minus 8 meter and comes to this position E. Means your object moves from point S to E. But actually what is the path? What is the total distance? It goes from S to this point up to point 5 and then return to the point E. So here the total distance is 13 unit. See here plus 5 and minus 8. You have to add the total distance. We will not consider the direction here. So the total distance is 13 unit and the displacement from point S to E, that is the shortest distance, that is minus 3 unit. Here minus 3 represent that the object is towards the left of the original position. If the object is towards the right position, then the displacement will be positive. Thus the displacement may be positive or negative also. Is that? Suppose your object moving from S to point up to 0.5 unit and return and comes to position O, that is its original position, we can say the displacement is 0 and the total distance is plus 10 unit. Again see in this diagram, yes, the vehicle is moving along a straight line path. Here from origin it moves up to 3 units, then again moves by 2 units, means the total distance is 5 unit and displacement is 5 unit also here. From point O to the second position, the displacement and distance both are same because the object is moving along the same line and with same direction. There is no change in direction. But when we change the direction, here the object turn now towards the left. समझते हैं, रिवर्स होता है. Again cover the distance minus 7 unit and then cover the distance minus 4 unit. So what will be the total displacement and distance here? Here the displacement is from origin up to point P4, that is minus 6 unit, and the distance is 3 unit plus 2, 5, plus minus 7 means we have to add only 7. We have not considered here negative sign, that is 5 plus 7, 12 plus 4, that is the total distance covered by the vehicle is 16 unit. Now again here in this diagram, the object is start from this position. This is the path. हा रस्ता आहे बघा, कर्ड होतो आहे. The car is moving on this road. To measure the distance or to measure the path length, we have to consider the total distance covered by that object. But what is the displacement here? The displacement is the shortest distance, that is from starting position to end position along the straight line, this green line path, that gives us the displacement. So here in this line, x-axis, here is the origin. Yes, we consider here 1 centimeter distance as 40 meters, suppose 40, 80, 120. Is that? Now again we consider about the distance and displacement, or path length and displacement. When our object moves from point O to Q, we can say the distance and displacement both are 240 centimeter. Now see here, if your object moves from O to P, listen here, object moves from O to P, the displacement and distance, that is the path length, both are again 360 meter, because the object is moving in the same line. It will not change its direction. Is that? In that case, the displacement and path length will be same. But now from this point, again the object is reversed and comes to the position O, then we can say the displacement is 0. But the distance covered is 360 plus 360, that is 720 meter. Now if the object moves to point R, we can say the displacement is minus 120 meter, but the distance again we have to add 720 plus 120. Thus we can measure the total distance, that is the actual distance. We will see here the difference. What is the distance or path length and what is the displacement? The distance is nothing but the length of actual path traveled by an object, and the displacement is shortest length between the initial and final position of an object. What is the second difference? The distance is the scalar quantity and displacement is the vector quantity. In the distance, it remains positive, can't be 0 or negative. But in the displacement, it can be positive, negative or 0. Is it? Now here, distance can be equal to displacement or it's maybe greater than displacement. But the displacement can be equal to distance, or sometimes it may be less than the distance, or sometimes the displacement may be 0 also. See here again this diagram. This is the example of path taken by the car. Is that? The blue line represent position vector and path is represented by the black line. Is that? So see here, suppose this is your black line by which, this is your actual path by which the car is moving at different position. At position A the car is here, at position B the car is here, and at position C the car is here. The blue lines here vector from origin to point B, that gives the displacement up to point B. Displacement up to point A from origin is given by the vector OA. Suppose here point origin is O, and up to point C the blue line vector OC gives the displacement. If we want to find the position from point B to C, the vector BC gives the displacement. From A to B, the vector AB gives the displacement. Is that? But the actual path we have to measure by the total distance covered. Is that? So that is about the path length and displacement. Now we will discuss the next quantity, that is the average speed and average velocity. You know about speed and velocity. When we take only the magnitude of velocity, that is called as speed. Speed is the scalar quantity, and velocity is the rate of change of displacement, that is displacement upon time is called as velocity, and it is the vector quantity. Here we define the average speed and average velocity. What is the average speed? The average speed describes how fast the particle is moving, and it is calculated by average speed is equal to distance upon time, and it is always positive. So to understand the average speed, I again describe one example here. Suppose we are sitting in a car अँड अवर कार इज मुव्हिंग फ्रॉम अकोला टू अमरावती. आपण अकोल्यापासून अमरावतीपर्यंत जातो आहे. सपोज ॲप्रॉक्सिमेटली वी कन्सिडर द डिस्टन्स इज 100 किलोमीटर. इज दॅट? आणि अकोला टू अमरावती आपण जातो आहे. रोड आपण कन्सिडर करू मुंबई पुणे हायवेसारखा आहे, दो इट इज नॉट हिअर नाव. रोड सध्या खराब आहे, पण आपण कन्सिडर करू युनिफॉर्म स्ट्रेट लाईन, चांगला रोड आहे. अवर कार इज मुव्हिंग फ्रॉम अकोला टू अमरावती. व्हॉट इज द डिस्टन्स? वी कन्सिडर द डिस्टन्स इज टोटल 100 kilometer. And to cover this distance, the total time required is suppose 2 hours. In 2 hours, our car cover the distance 100 kilometer. In that case, how we find the average speed? We say that 100 upon 2, that is 50 kilometer per hour. आपण इझिली कॅल्क्युलेट करतो की 50च्या स्पीडनी आपली गाडी चालत होती. इज दॅट? सो दॅट इज द ॲव्हरेज स्पीड. इज दॅट? अँड the average velocity is total displacement upon time. समजते? Here when our vehicle moving from, our car moving from Akola to Amravati, suppose we consider the straight line, there is no change in direction. In that case, the distance and displacements are same, and we will consider that the displacement upon time. Here, the average speed and average velocity both are same now, 50 km per hour. Is that? But for the velocity, we have to consider the direction. But suppose our car is moving from Akola to Amravati, 100 km, and again return from Amravati to Akola. The total distance is now 200 km. The total time is suppose 4 hours. In that case, the average speed is 200 upon 4, again 50 km per hour. But what is the average velocity? Here the displacement is 0. समजतंय? अकोल्यावरून सपोज राधाकृष्ण टॉकीज समोरून कार निघाली अमरावतीला आणि अमरावतीवरून पुन्हा त्याच पोझिशनला, त्याच पॉईंटला परत येऊन थांबवली, तर आपण डिस्प्लेसमेंट काय म्हणू? 0. इन दॅट केस द ॲव्हरेज व्हेलॉसिटी 0. इज दॅट? सो दिस इज अबाउट द ॲव्हरेज स्पीड अँड ॲव्हरेज व्हेलॉसिटी. नो व्हॉट इज द इन्स्टंटेनियस स्पीड अँड इन्स्टंटेनियस व्हेलॉसिटी? अगेन कन्सिडर द सेम केस. आपण कारमध्ये बसलो आहे, अकोल्यापासून अमरावतीपर्यंत जातो आहे. ॲव्हरेज स्पीड आपण 50 किलोमीटर पर आवर म्हटलं. समजतंय? अकोला टू अमरावती जाताना ॲव्हरेज व्हेलॉसिटी पण सेम आली, 50 किलोमीटर पर आवर. पण कोणत्याही इन्स्टंटला जर आपण कारमध्ये बघितलं तर आपली कार अकोला टू अमरावती 50 म्हणजे 50च्या स्पीडनी चालत होती का? असं पॉसिबल नाही आहे. ऑन द रोड समटाईम्स वी इन्क्रीज द स्पीड. आपण स्पीड 120, 100पर्यंत नेऊ शकतो. समटाईम्स द स्पीड रिड्यूस अप टू 20 ऑल्सो, अँड दॅट इज शोन बाय द स्पीडोमीटर. बघा, स्पीडोमीटर काय दाखवतो आपल्याला? ॲट अ गिवन इन्स्टंट, इन अ व्हेरी शॉर्ट इंटरवल ऑफ टाईम, गिवन इन्स्टंटला किती स्पीड आहे, दॅट इज गिवन बाय द स्पीडोमीटर. दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज द instantaneous speed. It is the speed of an object at a given time. Similarly, the limit of the average velocity for a short interval of time, that is called as the instantaneous velocity. Is that? Instantaneous velocity, we can read this formula. Instantaneous velocity is approximately equal to limit delta t tends to 0, delta x upon delta t. Here delta x gives us the change in displacement and delta t gives the change in time. The instantaneous velocity indicates what is happening at every instant of time. म्हणजे आपल्या व्हेकलचा स्पीड कमी झालेला आहे की जास्त आहे. इट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ टाईम, अँड द स्पीडोमीटर ऑफ द कार इंडिकेट्स द instantaneous speed. Now, we revise here some formulas for how to calculate the average speed and average velocity, instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocity. The average speed is nothing but we can calculate by using the formula total distance traveled upon total time. Instantaneous speed, speed during very small interval of time. What is the average velocity? Net displacement upon total time taken. What is the instantaneous velocity? It is the velocity during a small interval of time. That is the instant, at the given instant. What is the velocity? That is the instantaneous velocity, and velocity is related to displacement, and it is the vector quantity. Now, we discuss about the graphical study of motion. In the graphical study of motions, here the first graph, distance time graph. These are the displacement time or distance time graph. Suppose your object is in the steady position, in the rest position. आपली कार रोडवर थांबलेली आहे आणि 5 मिनिटांनी आपण पाहिलं तर थांबलेलीच आहे, अजून 10 मिनिटांनी थांबलेलीच आहे, अजून 15 मिनिटांनी थांबलेलीच आहे. 1 तासासाठी आपली कार थांबलेली आहे, रेस्ट पोझिशनलाच आहे. मग त्या 1 तासासाठी आपण जर ग्राफ काढला तर बघा एक्स ॲक्सिसला टाईम वाढत जाईल, पण डिस्प्लेसमेंट किंवा डिस्टन्स काय जे आहे तेच राहील. द डिस्टन्स इज कॉन्स्टंट and we get the graph that is the linear straight line parallel to time axis when the object is at rest. When the object is in uniform motion म्हणजे बघा 50चा स्पीड आहे तर 50चाच, 50 मीटरचा आहे तर 50 किलोमीटर पर आवर जो स्पीड होता तो कॉन्स्टंट स्पीडोमीटर तोच दाखवतोय. म्हणजे जसं मुंबई पुणे हायवेवर आपण जातोय द्रुतगती हायवे आहे ना, तिथे 100चा स्पीड म्हणजे 100च्या स्पीडनी प्रत्येक कार 100च्या स्पीडनी जाऊ शकते आणि स्पीड चेंज करायची काही गरज नसते. इन दॅट केस दॅट इज द युनिफॉर्म मोशन, इज दॅट the velocity is uniform, the object is moving with constant velocity. Then we will get the graph of the displacement versus time like similar. समजतंय? Uniform distance is covered, particular distance after the particular time. And when the motion is non-uniform, the displacement time graph, we get such a graph for the motion. Now, if you observe the lecture very carefully, you can give the answers of some questions or you can find the answer of these questions. Under what condition will the path length and displacement of moving object will have the same magnitude? है ना? Think about it. तुम्हाला जर लेक्चर बघितल्याबरोबर उत्तर मिळत नसेल तर यू मस्ट अगेन रिवाइज द लेक्चर. समजते? यू कॅन वॉच द लेक्चर वन्स अगेन and you can find the answer. Can a body have constant velocity but varying speed? Any objectची velocity constant असेल आणि variable speed असेल, is it possible? You have to think about it. What does the slope of position time graph represent? Then distinguish between the speed and velocity, and for which motion the average velocity is same as the instantaneous velocity. You can find the answers from the lecture. In the next lecture, we will discuss about the acceleration and again the velocity time graph and solution of some problems. Thank you.